The greatest reality of life is that people will not always try to understand you. They form opinions about you before listening to your words, they doubt your intentions before observing your actions, and they judge your character without ever knowing the state of your heart. This world is not perfect, and neither are the people who live in it. Every person sees others through the lens of their own thoughts, experiences, fears, and weaknesses. That is why your honesty may look like deception to someone, your silence may appear as arrogance, and your kindness may be mistaken for weakness. In such moments, a battle begins within the heart. One voice tells you to respond, to prove yourself, to take revenge, to become just like those who wronged you. But there is another voice, deeper, calmer, and more powerful. That voice reminds you that you will be known by your character, not by your reactions. This is where the true test of a person begins. Because the easy path is always to react in anger the same way others do, but the difficult path is to stand firm on your principles, whether the world treats you fairly or not. Forgiveness is not weakness, it is the highest form of strength. When you forgive someone, you are not declaring their actions right. You are declaring that you refuse to carry hatred, resentment, and anger in your heart. Hatred is a poison that harms the one who carries it first. If you hold bitterness toward someone, the greatest unrest belongs to you. You replay the same scenes in your mind, repeat the same words, and fight the same battles within yourself. Forgiveness is the end of that war. People will be unfair. They will judge you instead of trying to understand you. They will overlook your hard work, minimize your sacrifices, and sometimes even question your success. But the real question is not what they are doing, the real question is what you are doing. If you become just like them, then what difference remains between you and them? The real difference begins the moment you decide that your behavior will not depend on theirs. There will be many moments in life when you feel you were treated unjustly. You spoke the truth, yet you were accused. You showed sincerity, yet your intentions were doubted. You stood by someone, yet when the time came, they did not stand by you. Such moments can break a person from within. But these are also the moments that build a person. Because within every pain lies a lesson, and within every injustice lies an opportunity to grow stronger. Forgiveness does not mean forgetting, it means learning and moving forward. You remember what happened, but you do not carry it as a burden in your heart. You take the lesson, but you do not turn the wound into your identity. The people who hurt you teach you the kind of person you should never become. They are not your examples, they are your warnings. And that awareness makes you better. Your true strength is not in how loudly you can respond, but in when you choose to remain silent. Silence can sometimes be the strongest answer. Because when you respond to everything, you waste your energy on those who do not deserve it. But when you focus on your purpose, your principles, and your growth, your success becomes your answer. There are two kinds of people in this world: those who spend their lives seeking revenge for others' mistakes, and those who use others' mistakes as lessons to improve their own lives. The choice is yours. If you keep collecting every injustice in your heart will grow heavier. But if you forgive each pain and keep moving forward, your heart will grow lighter and your path clearer. Remember, forgiveness is not for the other person, it is for you. It is a decision for your peace. It is protection for your future. Because the one who remains trapped in past hatred cannot fully experience future happiness. And the one who keeps their heart clean finds peace at every stage of life. So if people misunderstand you, keep your heart right. If people treat you unfairly, do not abandon your principles. If people take advantage of your kindness, do not let your inner light fade. Because in the end, a person is not known by their actions alone, but by their character. And character is something that does not change because of circumstances, it grows stronger within them. This journey will not be easy. But it is this very journey that transforms an ordinary person into a strong one. When you learn to forgive, you become free. And there is no power greater than freedom. In the journey of life, there comes a moment when a person quietly asks themselves, is there really any benefit in staying good? When they see those who deceive appearing successful, those who use others moving ahead, and those who walk with honesty and kindness facing constant trials, a storm begins inside the heart. It can feel as if the system of the world is upside down. But the truth is this: goodness is never wasted, its reward simply does not always appear immediately. When you choose to do good, people may even question your intentions. They may assume you have a hidden motive, a personal gain, or some secret agenda. Many people judge the world according to their own standards, and if they themselves think selfishly, they assume everyone else does too. But your character should never depend on the assumptions of others. If you change yourself after every accusation, then what remains of your true self? Goodness is not practiced for applause, it is practiced because it is the voice of your conscience. This world often displays quick results, but real outcomes reveal themselves over time. You might help someone today and be forgotten tomorrow. You might stand by someone in their hardship, only to find them absent in yours. You might clear someone's path, and that same person may later place obstacles in yours. But the real question is not what others are doing. The real question is, what kind of person do you want to become? Because the person who ties their goodness to the behavior of others can never remain consistently good. Goodness is strength, not weakness. A weak person changes their character according to circumstances. A strong person holds onto their principles despite circumstances. When you refuse to respond to negativity with negativity, you rise to a higher level of inner power. You prove that your values are not dependent on someone else's behavior. Your kindness does not wait for validation. Your gentleness does not seek permission. Remember, many people in this world are carrying unseen wounds. They project the bitterness of their past onto others. When you treat them with kindness, they may not understand it because they are used to harshness. But that is exactly where you create a difference. Your single act of kindness might awaken hope in someone's heart. Your forgiveness might begin someone's transformation. Your support might change the direction of someone's life. And even if it does not, it strengthens your own character. Some people believe that staying good is foolish. In reality, remaining good consistently is the highest form of wisdom. When goodness becomes your habit, your heart lives in peace. You do not constantly worry about who you wronged or who is upset with you. Your heart remains clear, and living with a clear heart is one of life's greatest blessings. Goodness does not always come in grand gestures. Sometimes it is simply a smile. Sometimes it is listening attentively. Sometimes it is offering encouragement, forgiving someone, or praying for another person. These small acts of goodness, repeated daily, slowly shape a powerful personality. If you constantly expect others to respond exactly as you do, you will remain disappointed. But if you decide that goodness is your identity, then your heart will never feel empty. Every night, you will sleep knowing you did your part in spreading light. True success in life is not measured only by money, fame, or status. Real success is measured by how much light remains within you. If the harshness of the world makes you harsh as well, then the difference disappears. But if you remain gentle despite the world's hardness, that is true victory. You may not be successful in everyone's eyes, but if you are successful in the eyes of your own conscience, that is enough. In the end, you must live with yourself. Before sleeping at night, the greatest peace comes from knowing you did not intentionally hurt anyone, you did not commit injustice, and you shared whatever light you had. So even if people mistake your goodness for weakness, continue to do good. Even if people forget your help, continue to help. Even if people doubt your sincerity, continue to remain sincere. Goodness is not for temporary gain, it is for lasting character. And character is a wealth that never fades. The world may not reward you immediately, but life keeps its own account. The light you spread always returns in some form. And even if it does not return from the world, it builds within you a strength greater than any achievement, the strength of living with a clean heart. Therefore, no matter what people say and no matter how circumstances change, continue choosing goodness. When goodness becomes your path, the path itself gradually becomes easier. Telling the truth is not always easy, especially in a world where lies are often seen as cleverness and honesty is mistaken for simplicity. Many times in life, a person stands at a crossroads. One path offers temporary benefit but leaves the conscience heavy, while the other may bring short-term loss yet grants inner peace. Most people choose the first path because they see immediate results, but those who choose the second path gain a strength that lasts. When you speak the truth, people may become upset with you. Some cannot tolerate honesty because truth is like a mirror, and not everyone likes to see their real reflection. Your sincerity may be taken advantage of. Your trust may be broken. You may even suffer temporary loss. But remember, truth may test you for a while, yet it grants lasting respect. Truth is not just about words, it is a part of character. It is the foundation upon which trust is built. Once a person relies on lies, they need another lie at every next step. A lie is a chain that binds a person from within, while truth is a freedom that keeps a person upright and strong. Someone who speaks the truth does not need to remember what they said, because their words and their heart move in the same direction. There will be moments in life when you feel that a small compromise would make everything easier. But every compromise creates a crack in your character. At first, the crack is small, but over time it grows wider. Eventually, a person may struggle to face themselves. In contrast, someone who stands firm in truth may face temporary hardship, but their conscience remains at peace, and there is no greater success than a peaceful conscience. It is also true that those who speak the truth often have to stand alone. Not everyone has the courage to stand with what is right. But loneliness is not weakness, sometimes it is what strengthens a person from within. When you stand by your principles, you develop an inner power greater than any external force. It is the kind of strength that prevents you from bending in difficult times. Truth does not mean becoming harsh or hurting others. Truth must be paired with wisdom and gentleness. The most powerful truth is spoken with respect. However, hiding the truth just to avoid upsetting people slowly erases your identity. If you sacrifice your honesty every time to keep others happy, one day you may find that nothing of your true self remains. Integrity is not only about big decisions, it lives in small matters too, being punctual, fulfilling promises, not betraying trust, not taking what belongs to others. These small acts build your reputation. People may not praise you immediately, but over time they recognize that you are trustworthy. And trust is a treasure that takes years to build but can be broken in a moment. Sometimes telling the truth comes with a price, but lying costs even more. A lie may bring temporary benefit, but it creates constant fear, the fear of being exposed, the fear of secrets unraveling, the fear of losing respect. Truth, on the other hand, makes a person fearless. When you have nothing to hide, you can walk with confidence. The real measure of your life is not how successful you appear, but how peaceful you feel inside. If your success stands on lies, that structure cannot stand for long. But if your foundation is truth, even a small structure will be strong. Perhaps not everyone in this world will understand your honesty, but your Creator, your conscience, and time itself see everything. Time always reveals true faces. Those who rely on lies for temporary gain eventually become trapped in their own words. But those who hold firmly to truth gradually earn a respect that no deception can ever achieve. So if you speak the truth and people deceive you, do not abandon the truth. If you show honesty and others take advantage of it, do not abandon honesty. Your standards should not be defined by other people's behavior. Your standards should be your principles, and principles are the light that guide you even in darkness. Remember, enduring temporary loss is easier than living with permanent regret. Choose the path that does not cause you to lose yourself. Truth may sometimes be difficult, but it is the strength that forges a person into steel from within. Therefore, even if the world deceives you, remain firm upon the truth. Because in the end, true success is the one earned with honor, and honor is born only from honesty. Being happy may seem like the simplest thing in life, but in reality, it is one of the greatest challenges. Happiness is not merely a result of circumstances, it is a decision. And in this world, there are many people who are not comfortable seeing you happy. When you smile, some ask why. When you succeed, some question how. When you move forward, some talk behind your back. As if even happiness becomes a test. But the real question is, will you hand over your happiness to other people's opinions? Will you choose sadness just because someone cannot tolerate your smile? If you tie your happiness to the judgments of others, you will never truly be free. People's opinions constantly change, but your heart longs for consistent peace. Happiness does not mean a life without problems. Challenges come to everyone. The difference is that some people learn to smile despite their struggles, while others allow even small difficulties to steal their joy. True strength lies in keeping your inner light alive, even in the middle of a storm. When you decide to stay happy, you are sending a message to the world that your emotions are not under anyone else's control. Many people give the remote control of their lives to others. If someone praises them, they are happy. If someone criticizes them, they become sad. If someone stays, they feel secure. If someone leaves, they break apart. But a person who is strong from within does not attach their happiness to circumstances. Jealousy is a reality that often accompanies happiness and success. When you move forward, some people try to hold you back. When you are content, some want to see you restless. But remember, someone's jealousy does not reduce your success, and someone's criticism does not decrease your worth. The real question is how you see yourself. Happiness begins from within. It grows from gratitude. When you focus on what you already have and express thankfulness, your heart feels full. But when you constantly compare your shortcomings to others' strengths, your heart feels empty. Gratitude is the key that unlocks the doors of the heart. Sometimes, staying happy requires creating distance from certain people. Not everyone deserves access to your energy. Some bring only complaints, some spread negativity, and some offer nothing but criticism. If you listen to every negative voice, your heart will grow heavier. Choose your circle wisely. Surround yourself with those who encourage you to grow, not those who pull you backward. Happiness does not mean ignoring pain. Pain is part of life. You can feel hurt, you can cry, you can reflect, but you do not have to live permanently in that state. A strong person is not someone who never cries, but someone who knows how to smile again after tears. When you make your happiness your own responsibility, you become free. You do not seek permission to be happy. You do not adjust your emotions according to someone else's behavior. You define your own worth. And that is the foundation of self-confidence. Remember, life is short. If you spend it fearing what others will say, you will never live in your true colors. Your smile should not fade because of someone's jealousy. Your success should not stop because of someone's criticism. Happiness is a form of power. When you are happy, you are more creative, more confident, and more resilient. Negative thinking drains your energy, while a positive mindset multiplies it. Protect your happiness. It is your most valuable asset. If people are jealous, it is often a sign that you are doing something remarkable. If people talk about you, it means you are visible. But your purpose is not to please everyone, it is to complete your own journey. In the end, You are accountable for your own life. You must live with your own heart. If you spend every day worrying about what people will say, you will never become who you are meant to be. But if you stay happy while standing firm on your principles and purpose, you will experience a peace that does not depend on praise or criticism. So if people feel jealous, remain happy. If they talk, keep smiling. If they cannot tolerate your joy, do not dim your light. Your happiness is your right, and it cannot be handed over to anyone. Choosing happiness is not rebellion, it is awareness. It is a declaration that you have taken control of your life. And when a person takes that step, they become free from within. Therefore, no matter what the world says, remain happy. Because in the end, happiness is the power that can overcome every darkness. One of the bitter yet undeniable truths of life is that the good you do today is often forgotten tomorrow. You help someone, give your time, become their support, stand beside them in hardship, and after some time, it all becomes ordinary. Once their need is fulfilled, many people simply move on. Sometimes they do not even remember who stood with them in their darkest moments. This is the point where the heart feels broken, where a person begins to wonder, what is the benefit of being good? But here lies a profound secret. Doing good is not truly for others, it is for your own character. If you practice kindness with the expectation that people will always remember, praise you, or repay you, you will soon be disappointed. The world has a weak memory when it comes to favors. However, if you do good because you choose to be that kind of person, then you are never empty-handed. Goodness is like a seed. When you plant a seed, a tree does not grow overnight. It requires time, patience, and the right conditions. Sometimes the seed does not even grow in the same place where it was planted, it may bear fruit elsewhere, at another time. In the same way, your kindness may not show immediate results, but it is never wasted. Life keeps its accounts silently. Many people change themselves after feeling unappreciated. They think, if the world has not been good to me, why should I remain good? But this mindset hardens the heart. When you lower your standards because of someone else's behavior, the real loss is yours. You have handed your identity over to someone else's actions. A strong person decides not to become a reflection of others' negativity but a representative of their own principles. Remember, everyone experiences moments when their goodness is overlooked. You may contribute to someone's success, and they may never mention your name. You may help someone out of difficulty, and they may forget you. You may encourage someone, and they may move ahead without looking back. All of this may happen. But the real question remains, will you change your true nature because of it? Doing good brings an inner peace. When you lie down at night knowing you did not take anyone's rights, did not deceive anyone, and did not intentionally hurt anyone, that feeling is a priceless treasure. No worldly success can compete with the peace of a clear conscience. In the end, a person must live with their own soul. It is also important to understand that goodness is not always grand or dramatic. Sometimes listening patiently to someone is an act of goodness. Sometimes forgiving someone is goodness. Sometimes covering someone's fault is goodness. These small acts may go unnoticed, but they shape a truly great character. Some people will mistake your kindness for weakness. They may say you are too soft, too simple, that the world does not work this way. But more important than how the world works is how you choose to walk within it. If your heart is pure, you are not weak, you are strong. Doing wrong is easy. Remaining good is difficult. And it is the difficult path that builds real strength. The greatest success in life is not how many people know your name, but how many people trust your character. And trust is built through consistent goodness. Yes, some may take advantage of you, but not everyone will. There will be people who gain courage because of you, who change because of you, who find hope because of you. Even if you never know it, your goodness will have left its mark. The world focuses on temporary gains, but life remembers lasting impact. If you continue doing a little good every day, over time your character will grow into a strong tree. And when storms come, that tree may bend, but it will not break. So if the good you do today is forgotten tomorrow, still do good. If your help is not acknowledged, still help. If your sacrifices are taken lightly, still sacrifice. Because the true record is not kept in people's words, but in your actions. In the end, a person is not defined by what they possess, but by what they give. And the one who has the courage to give is never truly empty. The giving hand is always elevated. So continue doing good, whether anyone remembers or not. Because goodness is your identity, and identity only grows stronger with time. The greatest test of life is not how people treat you, but how long you can maintain your own standards. You may learn to forgive, continue doing good, stand firm on truth, protect your happiness, and keep giving your best, but the essence of all of it comes down to one question: can you give your best in every situation? Whether the world appreciates it or not, whether people applaud or remain silent, whether your effort is recognized or ignored. Many people fall behind in life because they only give their best when they are sure they will receive something in return. If there is no praise, their effort decreases. If there is no encouragement, their pace slows. If results are not immediate, their determination weakens. But true greatness begins where a person stops focusing on results and starts focusing on standards. They decide that their responsibility is to give their best. Acceptance or rejection is the world's responsibility. Remember, the world will not always consider your best to be enough. Some will say it is too little, some will say it is too much, others will find faults in it. But if you keep reshaping yourself according to every criticism, you will never remain whole. Perfection is not the goal, sincerity is. Giving your best does not mean never making mistakes. It means putting in your full intention, full effort, and full honesty into what you do. Life is not a competition where you must prove to everyone that you are better than them. It is a journey where you must prove to yourself that you did not waste your potential. If you have courage, use it fully. If you have knowledge, share it. If you have talent, do not hide it. When you fail to give your best, you are not only depriving the world, you are depriving yourself. Success is not merely about the result, it is about the person you become while striving for that result. You may work hard and still see success arrive late. Your efforts may not be recognized immediately. Your name may not appear on any list. But if you have given your best, you are not a failure. Failure is when a person does not try at all, or only uses half of their ability. It is also true that you cannot please everyone. If you satisfy one person, another may disagree. If you choose one path, some will criticize it. So do not waste your energy trying to make everyone happy. Invest your energy in becoming better than you were yesterday. If today you learned more, worked harder, showed more patience, and acted with greater sincerity than yesterday, you have won. Giving your best demands sacrifice. It requires time, effort, and patience. Sometimes you must walk alone. But that sacrifice is what separates the ordinary from the extraordinary. Ordinary people stop when they are tired, extraordinary people continue despite the fatigue. Ordinary people depend on praise, extraordinary people remain loyal to their purpose. Remember, your life is a trust. The potential placed within you is not meaningless. If you do not use it to its fullest, it is an injustice, not only to the world, but to yourself. Perhaps your effort will create a path for someone else. Perhaps your persistence will give someone courage. Perhaps your example will prevent someone from giving up. And if you stop, the light that was meant to pass through you may never reach others. At the end of life, you will not be asked how much people appreciated you, but how much of your potential you used. How many times you stood up after falling. How many times you kept trying despite disappointment? How many times you maintained your standard despite the world's indifference? So if the world says it is not enough, keep giving your best. If people ask what the point is, continue working hard. If someone belittles your effort, keep your intentions pure. True success is not when the world considers you enough, it is when you do not consider yourself less. In the end, a person is defined by the consistency of their standards. Forgiving, doing good, speaking truth, staying happy, continuing to act with integrity, together these form character. And when you add your very best to that character, you do not simply become successful, you become dignified. A dignified person is not changed by circumstances, they influence circumstances through their standards. So no matter what happens, keep giving your best. Because that is your true power.